Okay.
Here we
Yeah.
go. All right. Welcome all to another Repo Man live stream. This is our second live stream. And, please feel free to say stuff in the chat. I will be monitoring that. And ask questions. Tell us where you're from. Whatever. Um, and I'm going to hand it off to Mike, and he's going to tell you what's coming up in the show.
Yes, welcome everybody, and welcome Repo Man. This is our second time. The first one went really well, so we are continuing to do the live stream, and we want you to participate. You can chat, you can ask questions. Please tell us where you're from, and get involved. So what we have coming up is we're going to talk about the show, the new video coming out. We're going to talk a little bit about Driving Out of Town and its predecessor, and how that all came about, the history of it. Then we're going to play the new video, which I believe is already available everywhere, most places. And then we're going to talk a little more about that. And at the end, we're actually going to take questions as they come in. But then we're going to have a special video at the end, just like we did last time. Something that's not available anywhere in the universe except right here tonight. So be sure to stay tuned for the whole show so you get that.
So, my understanding is that we've got Mario in the house. Hey, Mario, can you put something in the chat so I can see you there? I want to hear that. I want to see that. I want to see you, like, giving it to Repo Man. I want to see you giving it to Repo Man. Some kind of a comment. You guys rule. You guys are awesome. I'm amazed by your musicianship. Anything like that, just go ahead. There he is.
Hey, David Joshua's
David
on.
Joshua's in the chat.
Hey, David.
Awesome. So,
Hey, David.
So the reason I brought that up is because I wanted to make sure the chat was working and that I was seeing it. Turns out I am. So very cool. Y'all, I'm monitoring the chat. Please chat us up. I'll answer whatever questions you got. And I think the next thing on the agenda is we need to talk about, like, the original song. So, Mike, why don't you get into that?
Sure. We can. We're going to talk about the history of this song. Driving Out of Town is the song we did last year. And we're just now releasing the video for it tonight. That's what this is about. But that is actually the second in a series of two so far. And the first one was called Drivin Into Town. And there is a recording of that on our first EP that we did back in the day. And it's available at all the streaming platforms, so you can hear that version. But the song was actually written and first recorded in 1989. I was on an aircraft carrier when I recorded it the first time, and in Japan. So it was a long, long time ago, and I've actually played the song in several different bands. I actually think that the Repo Man version could be the best of all of those, and it's the only recorded one so far. So it's released everywhere.
That's the picture you showed us the other day, right? Of you standing on that aircraft carrier or the battleship.
Yeah, that was the same era of what I was when I was writing, and I actually wrote it earlier, probably. I don't know, but basically, it's about the time when I was getting out of school and going into the world, and actually there was a house where 4 of us lived while we were in training, and I came in there in a moving van. It was just a truck, a Ryder truck, or a Hertz or whatever rental company rented the truck, and I came in and went in that truck towing my car. And I moved in a place that around the school was called the Commune because it was we had 2 guys and 2 girls living there, and 4 of us living there. So that was a song about that change, that crossroads in life, not really a crossroads, but a change, a move forward, and a big step in a new direction. So it's about that phase of my life. And so that song is available, like I said, on all the platforms. Driving into Town. And so Driving Out of Town is...
Can I interject something really quick?
Sure.
So I just want to say that, like, back in the old days, I don't know, when I was, 24 or 25 or something, like, whenever we were, to everybody watching, I'm 51 now, so that will line out the chronology, right? But
it doesn't slow him down any.
Yeah, so
slow him down a bit.
When we were doing Repo Man in the old days, I was, 24 or 25 years old, whatever I was. That song really, the Driving Into Town song, the song that Mike was just talking about, the Driving Into Town song really spoke to me because I had this experience of going to Florida to go to the Players School of Music, which has now, changed hands a few times, and it's a lot different than it was back then. But the point is that I went to Clearwater, Florida, and lived in my car and went to music school for 10 weeks or something. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and the whole, just like whenever we would play that song live on stage, I just would remember that, because it was like I came from Austin in the 90s. So that was Austin was a smaller pond back then than it is now, right? So, like, I'm living in Austin, I'm playing in bands, and I'm, like, doing pretty good. And suddenly I enter into this new environment, and I gotta prove myself, and I gotta, like, make everybody believe I'm a great musician and blah, blah, blah. And that's what it was, driving into Clearwater, Florida, and going to music school, and That song always really spoke to me on that. And Mike, I apologize for interrupting you. I just wanted to say that song always really had that meaning for me. Like, it was really, every time we played it on stage, I always, that conjured up that memory of going to music school and having to prove myself, leaving the small pond that I came from and having to prove myself. So there you go.
I did not know that, Brendon.
Yeah, well, that's now
new.
Now we bring all this great stuff to light in these. Heaven forbid we do it in private. Fortunately, we're doing it in public on this live stream, and we've got some. Oh no, we don't. I thought we had a comment, but I guess we don't. I'm gonna have to.
Mario is here with us, guys. He says he can't comment though. I'm not sure why, but he texted me and said that he was in here, but I don't know. Maybe you need to be signed. I don't know how to troubleshoot this stuff. But
yeah, I'm gonna send him a direct message right fucking now and tell him give us a goddamn question. All right.
Also, I want to mention a while back. This was like after I left Austin and everything, and I was looking around, and I found some page or somewhere that was Rick Furley, our drummer on that song, and many others. And he had that as one of his examples of of his work. And what's so funny, dude?
laughing at the chat.
Yeah, I put something in the chat. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike.
I'm sorry to maybe I don't want to interrupt whatever you're doing.
He's having a damn good time. That's what's important. Like, as
So
long
anyway,
as we're all having a damn good time.
I said, "Hey, it's great that you got Driving Into Town on there," and he's like, "Yeah, it's a really good song," and I was really impressed by that. So
I can tell you for a fact, man, that song is a pillar in the Repo Man library. And at the time in the 90s when we were exposing it to the people in that form, it really challenged me with the slide, because I wasn't much of a slide player at all. And somebody said, "Hey, play slide," and me, I'm like, "Yeah, why not? I'll try it." And then, oh man, it's happening, and now we have to do it live, and now we have to record it, and I'd better get good at it. That's the marking point for me for really picking up the slide and at least trying to fake it till you make it, whatever that saying is. But
yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up, and it leads me to kind of confess something.
we got a question.
Oh, we do have a question.
We got a question. Hold the press. We have a question.
Okay, so David, we're going to answer that in a minute. I just want to say this. So I discovered bass playing because of John Entwistle and the Who, and that's what made me want to play bass. But then something else happened, and I bought this CD, and this is in the late 80s, right? So I bought this CD called Freaky Styley by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I discovered slap bass. And if a song that I was playing on in any band I was in was, a song that was appropriate for slap bass, great. because all I wanted to do was play slap bass. So if there was a song that it wasn't appropriate to play slap bass on, I was still playing slap bass. And the thing that was so cool about Driving Into Town was that it was my first recorded bass solo, and I would have been damned if that wasn't going to be a slap bass solo. And sure enough, that's what it was. Nowadays, I don't play so much slap bass just because I've learned that musicianship is about like serving the song. But when I was 24, no, fucking everything was going to be slap bass. So anyway, the Driving Into Town was a great kind of a platform for me to finally do something musical with slap bass, in that there's a solo in the middle of it, and it's me playing slap bass, and that's great.
Yep.
So let's answer.
So the song was this iteration of the song was a guinea pig in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, I mean, and to my point, like when we recorded Grenade Launcher of Love, I mean, that didn't need slap bass, but I was like, no, I'm playing slap bass. Straight up, get out of my way. Slap bass all the time.
Worked for me.
No, the Grenade Launcher of Love is great, and I don't mean to poo-poo our music from the old days. Like, we had a bunch of great songs. We had a song called "I Dig You," where I did not play slap
Another
bass.
pillar. That's another pillar right there.
Yeah, and it sounded great. We had a song called "Come On Integration," where I did not play slap bass, and it was great. I mean, so the point is, it's not like I was dead set on this slap bass thing, but the point is, all I ever wanted to do was play slap bass, and suddenly I had a platform where I could play a slap bass solo, and it was glorious. That's what I'm trying to say. So, getting to David's question, what was it like performing Driving Into Town? And then there's an addendum question. Were there differing dynamics from the recorded version? So, I can tell you that so this is my answer to the question, David. And first of all, thank you for asking the question. We built that song playing live. Back in those days, there was no internet. There was an internet, but it wasn't like now. You couldn't record stuff at home. You had to buy expensive equipment and stuff. So, what we recorded is literally the thing that we would play live. And so I would say that, to directly answer your question, what was it like to play it live? It was exactly like the recording. Because back then, that's what you recorded. Whatever you played live is what you recorded. Nowadays, you record something and then you learn how to translate that to the stage. Back then, whatever we played live is what we recorded. So I can just say that from my perspective, what was it like, to answer your question, what was it like to play it live? It was exactly like recording it. And with that, I'll hand it over to Adrian and Mike.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Mike. Okay,
Um,
I was just gonna say that sometimes, and I hope I'm not misreading or anything, but the differing dynamics from the recorded version. Hell yeah, man! At clubs, there's different nights, and sometimes we were dodging bottles. So yeah, the dynamics would be just a little bit different. Other nights we'd be playing to the staff, so it'd be a free rehearsal, and we'd really focus on it, and it'd be one of the best performances ever. And maybe 3 or 4 people saw it. Other times, we played that song in the military base formerly known as Fort Hood, Texas, the largest military base in the world. We played on that base, and we played that song uh, literally where people were beating each other up and with pool cues and beer bottles and venting the Friday night anger of working in the military and being a cowboy and Repo Man brought that show into town, man, and that song got them stirred up, man. It really did. So yeah, the dynamics are different, if we're playing in Austin on a Thursday night at a club, sometimes again it was just the staff, but we treated it all the same either way. There were less beer bottles flying from the staff. I'll tell you that much. So, but as far as dynamics go, from the recording, we tried to stay close to the recording with this band's version, but I think Mike has 23 or 24 different versions of it. Is that right, Mike?
maybe not that many. Maybe not. I think I played it in 4 different bands total. Played it in Rabinowitz and another band in San Diego. The original.
I just really want to drive home to young people that back in the old days, we used to have to like put songs together at rehearsal, and then we would play them live and see what the reaction was, and then we would record that. We couldn't demo stuff as easily as we can now. And the thing about it is like now that ever when COVID hit, unfortunately, but fortunately we started working together again. It it was really simple to work together remotely. That was not possible like back in the 90s. I mean, you had to be a band that rehearsed and played gigs, and then you would work this stuff up, and then you would go and record that. Like you couldn't, it wasn't like now where we could work remotely. And because it's important to understand we all live in different cities, right? So it's really cool that we can produce music together now the way that we do, and it's great. But I just want to emphasize that was not possible in the 90s. I mean, you had to be like in the same city, playing gigs, rehearsing, and then you would record that stuff that you worked up in rehearsal and on gigs. So anyway,
And
I feel like
and
I'm going on and on. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no, you're bringing up some points. We used to one of the biggest things about recording in the '90s is my biggest problem was we'd all have to meet at the wherever the studio was, but doggone it, if Interstate 35 didn't always get in everybody's way for about 2 hours trying to get there and get the project done. So you've got Interstate 35 boiling in your blood, so that actually helped, even though it caused some delays most of the time, and it helped the recordings, if you ask me. But yeah, it's super easy today, man. But there was a lot of involvement lost between the 90s and the way we're doing it now. Less sweat involved, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have one story about playing live, and there's this, and the recording exists, but it was a live performance on the TV show Capsize, and
yeah.
the thing, unfortunately, this mistake was recorded for all posterity, but I actually went into the last verse and nobody got to do the solos. Have you guys ever noticed that? Have you seen this? I went into the last verse without doing the solos. So,
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, for me, every Repo Man memory is perfect. I mean, I had so much fun.
hey, I feel like we should actually play Driving Into Town since we talked about it so much. Is that possible?
Yeah, the primer.
Yeah. So, did you want to play
Driving Out of Town is
Did
like
you want to play the real one, or that demo one from 1989? Like,
no, that's later, but yeah, I guess we could. But I don't know. We've been talking about our own version of it, so
no, that's fine. I can do it. I just need to I need to pull it up, which is it's going to take a minute. So bear with me. I'm doing it right now.
And about the bass solo, it's something that I originally did because I don't play lead guitar for one thing, and I have played a lot of bass probably for most of my musical career. I played bass, and so that was the original version had a bass solo in it, and I played a bass solo with John Cougar Rabinowitz as well. So when it came time to do the Repo Man version, that just came naturally with it. But fortunately, we were able to have an awesome guitar solo in there as well, and a little drums.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll the original Repo Man version of Driving Into Town right now. If y'all will bear with me.
That's the new one.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry to surprise you like that.
No, it's okay. I thought I had it pulled up, but I guess I don't.
There it is.
And to everybody watching
it.
the thousands of live stream viewers, I'm so sorry that I don't have this queued up.
2004.
Yeah. I know there's so many of you, and I'm sorry that I'm blowing this here. There we go.
Live video, people. This is live.
The internet's version of Interstate 35.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have it pulled up finally, and I want you all to pay special attention to Mike's Ibanez flanger pedal.
FL9.
That's very cool. And here we go.
Fingers, just like a bass player.
wow. Sexy bodies, just shaking in time, you know.
Nice. Love that song.
All right. Yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah, apologies, everybody. Grenade Launcher of Love started playing there. Sorry, that's my fault. I did that. Anyway.
I always love that guitar effect you use, Mike, on that on the rhythm part.
It was very 80s. But yeah, I liked it.
Keeping it alive.
So, also to everybody watching, you probably saw me switching screens like this. Sorry about that. Anyway, here we are again, the three of us.
So maybe we can move on to the new song.
Yeah, I want to do that, and I just want to say that the production of this song was extraordinarily challenging for me, particularly, just because I had no idea what we were doing, and the production of this song took a long time because of that. Mike had originally recorded a demo, and I took that to mean we're going to build on this, and no, like that demo was it. So what's important to understand is that this demo I got from Mike was very it was very sparse. Like, it was not a giant, big guitar rock song. It was very sparse. And so for me, hearing that, I'm thinking, okay, well, this is the skeleton. We're going to build on this. We're going to have great big rock guitars, and we're going to do, we're going to make a great big rock song out of this. And so then I created a demo, of kind of my vision of it, and that completely fell on deaf ears. Like, that was like, no, that's absolutely not what we're doing. And we ended up pairing it back, and we came up with what we came up with, and I really like it. Once again, I get to have a bass solo. It's not a slap bass solo, but it's a bass solo again, and it's kind of a continuation of the story, and that's the thing that I really want to drive home about the new song, "Drivin Out of Town," is that the original song, "Driving Into Town," was one thing, and then the new song, "Driving Out of Town," is another thing, and in a way, it's kind of a sequel
It's a
to
new stage of life.
Driving Into Town. So Driving Into Town is part one, and Driving Out of Town is part two. So that's my take on it. I really want to say that this was a real learning experience for me in terms of like understanding the demo, right? Like, so Mike gave me a demo and I didn't get it. I thought it was the skeleton, but no, the demo he gave me was exactly what he wanted, and I kind of had to put my ego out of the way and understand that that's what he wanted, and what we came up with I think was really great. Anyway, I've talked enough about it. You guys have at it.
But interesting thing about the way he structured, let me get my words right. His there's a section of the bass line in there that normally you would think the guitar would play the same key. And I remember he had to send out a note to us one day describing what he was doing, that key is going to be different in the guitar versus the bass, but he with a certain conviction, he's like, it'll come together, it'll sound right when we get it there, and we actually did get to that road. And at first I was like, no, this ain't working, I'm going to play exactly what that other part is because we're in the same key. But it was two different keys. I think I was ascending and the bass was descending or something like that on the phrasing of it. And we lost Mike. But yeah, it worked out. It worked out really good. It's one of those oddities that just works. The math works, and it sounds great in the end.
I'm having some network problems, so
I can still see you, Mike, and you're fine. I just don't think we're driving home really the state we were in the middle of the production of this song. Okay, so we were working on other songs. We were working on what were we working on? We were working on President's Got a Gun. We were working on America. We were working on a bunch of different songs, and
Monkey.
Yeah, and Monkey, and I don't really remember where this fell into all that, but we were working on a bunch of different songs, and this one was the one that we were kind of not focusing on. And because of that, I'd gotten this demo that I didn't understand, and I completely fleshed out like the song, like as far as I understood it, and Mike was like, absolutely not, that's not what we're doing. And no, and I really want to drive home that like when you're collaborating like this, I mean, that's gonna happen, right? You can't take it personally. You can't you can't be a jerk about it. It's just like, okay, like, is this what you want? And the answer is no. And it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? I really want to create, like, awareness, like, for people that are trying to do what we're doing. Like, if you're collaborating over great distance, like we're doing, if you throw something out there and the rest of the people don't like it, like, you can't get upset about that. Like, it's really about, um getting, creating a workflow where you can bounce ideas off of each other. Well, anyway, the point is that we eventually came together on this song, and that really had a lot to do with, I mean, the honestly, the Adrian was on board immediately. It really came down to me just getting my ego out of the way and kind of getting on board with what Mike wanted to do. And what Mike wanted to do eventually was great. So I'm glad that we.
But that's a beautiful thing, man. It supports what you just said about recording and in today, in this era. And you chisel away at the main idea that you're trying to get across bit by bit by doing it like this. We can't be in place, all in the same place, but that's one of the chores that you have to do if you're going to put a song together. I mean, not the ego thing. That's all personal. I don't want to get involved with that ego stuff.
No, I just want to really drive home this idea, and I don't want to, and this isn't really pertinent to what we're talking about, and I kind of am going off on a tangent. So I'm going to keep this quick. I just want to say, when you're collaborating with people over great distance online, you might come up with something that in your mind is amazing, and you just have to be prepared for the other guys in the band to be like, yeah, I don't like that, and that's part of being a pro, is just saying, like, hey, here's my idea, and everybody says, yeah, no, I hate that, and you just say, okay, well, that's, we're workshopping this, and that's the deal. So if you're ever in a situation where you're collaborating with people and they don't like your idea, that doesn't mean that you're not going to come up with something great. That's all I want to say. Anyway, Mike, do you have anything to add to this? I kind of feel like I'm kind of going.
I was wondering when I was going to get to talk about this song that I wrote. But yeah, as far as the production goes, I mean, I don't know that I was as harsh as you make it sound.
Okay, I mean, maybe, but I mean, the thing is, that wasn't the right direction, is what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, I mean, and another thing about this song is, because of the history with Drivin Into Town, and this song was a lot more personal to me than a lot of the other stuff that we're doing, because we have songs that are, political, and songs that are just punk rock, not liking what's going on in society. But this was a lot more personal to me. So I was a lot more insistent on how it should go than I normally would be. Because I love the stuff that you guys come up with, and it's stuff that I never would come up with. So yeah, but it's about a new stage in life. I'm a lot older than I was when I wrote the first one. but it's the same kind of idea. Back then, I was just starting out in adulthood, really, and now I'm still as confused as I always was about what's ahead in the future. So there's a wide open future, and that's part of what the starkness of the song was about. Is and you'll see in the video too, is looking out at the road ahead, and it just being as wide open as it was back then. But I'm still considering my choices, and but it's a little different because of the perspective that I have now. I don't remember that much about the production of it, but I think it came out well. And honestly, this is about my favorite song that we've done anytime recently, as in terms of the production of it, as well as just the overall meaning of it. And that's kind of what I tried to put in the video that we're going to see. So I hope that sheds some light on, from my point of view, what this new song is about. And it's been out for a while, but we thought it was a good idea to talk about it and talk about the historical connection to the other song, since we have not talked about that yet in a live stream.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, I think, if it does what I hope, which is to, kind of shed some light on it, for people that maybe aren't aware of it, that's great. Should I roll that? Should I roll the video? Should we watch the...
Let's do it. Let's see it. World premiere.
Yeah. So, all right. So,
here it comes.
Bear with me, everyone. I'm gonna. Here we go.
Sunset, the sun turning red. Got troubles behind me, got troubles ahead. I got troubles ahead. Working for the man has got his benefits. Taking home a paycheck, not living in the streets, but you get turned into meat. Turning into meat. Working out my choices, to love or not to love. And when I hear the voices
Man, that rocks. That rocks.
Yeah,
No,
forgive
I'm
me. I
parking.
need to. There we go. Perfect. Whoops.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm bear with me. All right. Sorry, everybody.
And we're back.
We're still learning how to do this live streaming thing, but that last thing you were hearing was our new single,
Song about you.
Song About You, that is awesome, and you can go check it out on our YouTube channel. Anyway,
2023.
what I really want to do right now
It,
is very briefly just reiterate something I said before. We make this music collaboratively, but remotely, right? So if you're interested in doing that with your friends that live in another city, you can do it. It just really it requires you to be very able to understand that not every idea is going to be a great idea, right? So if you throw an idea out to your friend that lives 500 miles away and he says, that's pretty cool, but like I want to do something different, you need to be available to work with him or her on that. If there's anything that I think Repo Man can demonstrate, it's that, we don't have to live in the same city to play music together. We don't have to gig to play music together. Um, we can produce music with great intent remotely, and you can too. It just really requires kind of a very open mind and a great ability to kind of work together. So if you want to do that, do it, and please use us as an example. That's the thing I wanted to say, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of going on, and I apologize, but that really is the thing. Okay, moving on. Back to
hey, David,
Mike.
thank you. Thank you, David.
Yeah,
Nice
thanks, David.
compliment.
Good comments like that.
Yeah.
1002 visitor. 1002.
So the video, as you can tell, is very simple. It's a bunch of driving down the road videos viewed from the point of view of the driver. But what happens is there are flashes as you're trying all these different roads. This one keeps coming up and keeps flashing. In this video, it's the long straight road heading for the mountains in the desert.
I knew that.
So I think that kind of it's something that I'm feeling right now, basically. And the long straight road is Repo Man, and that's my personal feeling. It's Repo Man. But all these other things keep trying to work their way in, So it does kind of tell a story about life in there. And this long straight road, you can never see the end of it. So you don't know what's going to happen there. It could branch off into other roads. Who knows what happens? So anyway, that's my take on it. What do you guys think about the video?
I like the video. I think it's really cool, especially always when you release your work and I'll watch it first and then you tell the story behind it. I'm just as intrigued with the story behind it, and it has your theme of stages of life in it, and it could mean something different to other people, of course, but when you put what it means to you behind it, it definitely, that's the Repo Man road, the Repo Man freeway.
Hopefully, everyone can relate, because everyone is on a journey through life,
Yep, sure are. Different things lead them in different directions. We're still doing it after all this time, and it's kind of like doing it this way is picking it up from when we left off at the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Finishing it up.
If if it's my turn, I just would like to say that I have two things to say. The first thing is that I'm all about the video. And the second thing that I have to say is that something I love about the video is that it is very simple. Like I think we are presenting an example to the world, of like, if you come up with a song, you can put a music video for that song up on YouTube, and it doesn't have to be, Citizen Kane, right? I mean, you can, whatever kind of footage you can put together, you can make a music video and get your music out there. And that to me is the greatest thing about it, is like, it's a sequel to a song that we had previously, and it's a great song, and then also there's a video for it, and maybe that video is an example for other people that want to make music videos, that are simple. I just think that
explore the software. Explore the software. Some of it's easier than others, and a lot of people like me like to take the easy way out. Something that's user friendly.
I just think it's a great example. That's all I'm saying. I think it's a great example of, if you have a great song, get it in front of people, and you can do that with a video, and that's what we've done. So,
no, it's good advice, and the more you do, productions like this, the better it gets down the road. I mean, you were saying this is one of your better ones, and Mike likes it as one of the better ones. I mean, a good example. I mean, we've talked about it before, having a great song on a bad recording, and you still have a great song, even though the recording may not be that good. But next time it might be a little bit better. You work out the kinks and find out what works. A good example is the band called Y Oak, indie group. And they've got one of the best songs ever written in any genre, anywhere. It's called Civilian. But the recording just isn't that great. And you go to their next album, and their production's a little bit better. So each time, using their skills and doing it, the DIY approach, because that's what they're doing. It's kind of what we're doing as well.
You got to work with whatever you have at hand.
Yeah, exactly, and it gets better each time. I mean, my production skills for recording are getting a little bit better. Nowhere near Brendon's or yours, but the more I do it, the easier it gets, and it seems like now we have to put as much effort in a song to release on the internet as we did in releasing an entire album back in the 90s physically, with all the avenues available. And still yet the results aren't that great, but you're still doing you're getting it out there. Do it yourself approach.
Because really back then it was like Brendon said, it was, we did it live, we went into the studio and we played it, so it's different.
I think that the in air quotes album concept it just is dead. I mean, I think the beautiful thing about now is that we can, we're doing this live stream to promote one song, and I hold it up 2 fingers, I should say, just one song. We're doing this live stream to promote one song. It's key to understand that, like, we make whatever song and then we put it out. We're not making a stupid CD anymore, right? It's like, what Mike is editorializing my yeah, okay, sorry. We work on one song and we put it out. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Cool.
I'm sorry, guys. Y'all are cracking me.
No, it's fine. I actually kind of am not entirely sure of what happened there, but whatever. It's fine. We're good. The good news is that we have all these comments in the chat. And
1002. That you might mention that as another positive or negative on the internet when you do these things is, you can promote your ass off to get people here to watch, but I guess if they're not logged into their YouTube account, they can't come in and comment. So I'm almost positive there's got to be about 800 more that just can't get it through the gates.
No, I mean the thing is, I've got comments from David Joshua.
Log into your YouTube.
No.
He's awesome.
I mean, let's get real. So we got
another one of these coming up with David too.
I've got comments from David Joshua. I think there's another like million people watching that are just not commenting, and that's just how it is.
Could be.
So I'm gonna say right now, like in the chat, I'm gonna put this in the chat right now, like if there are 1 million, what is that? 6 zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, you should know that it's in your royalty checks every month.
If there are, yeah.
It's rock and roll.
Yeah, you would be surprised. You would be surprised at the amount of my royalty checks. So
money for nothing, chicks for free.
If there are,
hey, that's another reference too, man. Baby, it makes us rich from Drivin' Into Town. Rock and roll's a bitch, but baby, it makes us rich. Oh man, I can't wait to see next month's royalty check. No more eating out of dumpsters for me, baby.
Rock and roll stops the traffic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. All right. So hopefully, if somebody says hell yeah, then that means we've got a million viewers. So anyway,
I thought it would be good to talk about, since it's been 2 weeks since our last live stream, talk about what we're working on at the moment.
I want to talk about that. I'm excited to talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about it.
I think we're working on a new song, like we always are.
We are. It's called Some Such Thing.
Some Such Thing.
And it sounds great. I am
just did some drum parts the last couple of days.
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, so Mike presented the song, we demoed it, and now Mike has recorded drums for it. And so we will go from there. Like, we're gonna get Mike's drums together, and then I'm gonna do my part, and Adrian's gonna do his part, and then we're gonna have a whole song. It's gonna be great.
Well, the demo's sick. I mean, it's sick. It's not any Repo Man you've ever heard before. It's sick.
It's actually a little bit like Drivin Into Town in terms of, you know.
I will be right back.
In a way it is platform wise, you know, platform wise.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
It's got a similar rhythm to it, and you know, it's more rappy, hardcore rap than Driving Into Town, but it has that kind of beat to it. So
it's really got that Faith No More feel to it. It's got that signature, you know, just tapping at it.
Yeah. And you have a song too that you wanted to do a rap on. What was that song? It was
rapping. I remember time. We've been doing that one live. It was in the garden.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm not sure where we're at with that. We've been playing that live just recently, and you know, it's. I'm not rapping on it. I've kind of come to the conclusion as I'm aging each week, my rapping skills are just not what they used to be. So I'm kind of backing off and letting the youngsters come up in that department, but it can still be done.
Adrian is talking about his band Asswater Jones. Is playing in the Dallas-Fort Worth greater area. And Mario could do the rap, couldn't he? Mario, the bass player.
Mario could do the rap. He actually sings. He helps me a lot with the singing on that song.
He's pretty good.
Oh man, I love Mario. Man, Mario. We got a nickname for Mario. We call him Love Glue. And however you want to apply that, that's Mario. Love Glue, man. He keeps it all together. He really does.
That's what bass players are supposed to do. Be the glue. Keep it all together.
Oh man, and his family, man. Let me give his family a mention, man. Any show we've done anywhere, the other half has been his family supporting us and him. They're just such a great support. Rock and roll to them, man, for supporting us.
Yeah.
That could be another, interlive web stream thing. This Driving Out of Town, man, that's the whole premise of tonight, man. We had Driving Into Town as one pillar. Now we got Driving Out of Town as the other pillar, man. We're building the roof of that hot rod. We're putting a canopy on top of her, man, and Repo's rolling, bro. That is an awesome song. Brendon, you did some great work on it.
Thank you. What a blast. I think every one of these Repo Man songs that we produce is better, right? So like, Driving Out of Town was one thing, and then right after that we did Song About You, which, I think had another kind of a stair step of production value, and then the next thing we do will have another stair step of production value.
I've got a feeling that Some Such Thing is going to be awesome based on what I've heard when you did your blown up demo of it. I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
I think it sounds great right now, and the current state of Some Such Thing, it sounds great, and I did some stuff with it today, and I think it's gonna sound better. But again, if there's anybody out there watching that is trying to produce their own music, I want to drive home this idea that the stuff we're making now is better than the stuff we were making 3 months ago. The stuff we were making 3 months ago was better than the stuff we were making 6 months ago. So you need to be putting out music because it's constantly getting better. And if you're waiting to put your music out, don't wait. Do it now, because it doesn't matter what it sounds like. Just get it out there, set that precedent.
It doesn't happen immediately. It doesn't happen immediately to get to this point either. I think Brendon needs a plug right now, man. Brendon always does these kick-ass videos of how did I do the video before this one, and you guys should watch that because they're really informative. I don't know half of what he's talking about half the time until I watch it all the way through to know what he's done. And again, it's like if you're at a pro level, just take off. You don't need to be in that room. But for guys like me that are trying to figure out how we're doing these live feeds right here, so we can get other people out, like David Joshua at the end of the month. We'll be doing Asswater stuff. We got Mario's podcast. There's plenty of things to do with this, but Brendon does these breakdowns afterwards that are phenomenal. I mean, they're like step by step and click by click to tell you how to get there, what he does. And he loves doing this stuff, apparently. I mean, it's just like, I'm like, damn, another one? Got to watch this one too. Put a like on it,
Yeah,
really informative.
Well, thanks for bringing that up. I mean, the big thing to me is just like, I just want to empower people to get their music out there like we're doing. And so, getting back to the thing I was saying a minute ago, it's just like the stuff we were doing 6 months ago, like, we couldn't have topped that if we didn't put it out 6 months ago, right? So the point is, you put something out now, and then in a month, you put out something else, and that tops the thing that you put out a month ago, right? But you can't top the thing you put out a month ago unless you put out something a month ago. Anyway, I'm kind of going on and on, but if you've got a band, start putting your music out. You can do it with DistroKid. Be like us, put it out on DistroKid. Do live streams like we're doing. We're doing a live stream right now, and there's like 2 people watching, but we're doing it. So that's my point. Is like, you got a band, you got songs. Put your songs out. That's the start of a career in music. Okay? So, there you go. anyway.
Or just getting your music out there in a professional way that's, doesn't break the bank. We used to do this on cassettes. We used to do it with
Oh my God.
four track recorders that we'd have to have, after we played it 10 hours, you have to condition the belts with a special oil so you get proper recordings at the proper speed and everything. And then we'd take those demos out at our shows and we'd hit people in the faces with them with flyers for our next show and pizza stains on those flyers,
So,
this way's so much easier.
Do you remember, like, Adrian, like, we made that 4-track demo and then I borrowed a 4-track tape machine and we made that demo, and then, like, in your front yard, like, we had, like, somehow we had a shopping cart, and we, like, put all our instruments in a shopping cart, and we, like,
pushed it to the alley on the bridge or the bridge where the stream went underneath.
Right, but like for young people, like, now, like that's so DIY, right? Like, not only did we record this idiotic demo on, like, this 4-track tape machine, but then we, like, set up a photo shoot and, and we got like a shopping cart, right? Like,
we tossed all our gear in it. It's just laying over the sides.
It just seems so cheesy now that, like, I don't know. It's just that's really funny that we did that. Like, we sourced a shopping cart to make the cover photo for this idiotic demo that we made. Anyway.
So, speaking of 4-track recordings on cassette.
Yeah.
We have coming up the original version of Drivin Into Town that's now 34 years old. And it somehow has survived.
We're a couple of gringos living for free in Baja, Mexico, and this is part one of our slightly.
And I used my guitar as a bass, and I used this little handheld thing as a drum machine.
Nice.
And at the end of the video, you'll see the actual studio where this was recorded. Studio in air quotes.
And you said you have 4 different versions of this, and this is the first?
Yeah, this would be the first. Yeah, there's so if you count this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So yeah, 4. Yeah, probably there's one in there that never actually made it. Well, one that was live, and anyway, 4 or 5, something like that. But yeah, so why don't we play?
All right. Well, I have it queued up, and I'm going to roll that right now.
This is Driving Into Town, by the way.
What's that?
Just want to say this is Driving Into Town, not Driving Out of Town.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am having a computer problem. Excuse me, everyone.
I'm gonna let you work that out. I'll be right back.
No, I got it now, I think. Here we go. Got it. All right, everybody, here we go.
Driving into town, rocking on the radio, in a two-tone two-seater. It's just a moving van, you know. It's just a moving van. Moving into the commune, a lot of little holes in the wall, 4 sexy bodies, just shaking in time and all, just shaking in time. Lying on the couch, knocked out from alcohol, rock and roll's a bitch, baby makes it great, baby makes it great, the kid makes it great. Driving into town, rock and roll on my mind at all. Visitor at the window, it's just a moving man, you know. I'm just a moving man. Driving into town, driving into town.
I love that.
Yep. Yep.
That was awesome. I can see you doing the finger drums on that little machine.
Yeah. Yep. That was it.
What an ingenious way to record that, man.
Well,
I mean, the thing that's so funny about it is that, you know, like, it doesn't sound bad compared to other recordings of that time. I mean, like, if you were to listen to a Depeche Mode album, you know, from 1989, you know, it would sound kind of similar, honestly. Like,
I thought so too. It's probably because of the conditioning oil he used on the belt for the 4-track, don't you think?
I just really think it has to do with that, that ultra mid-rangey 80s thing. I don't know. The conditioning oil probably has something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the salt air from the battleship. Got it.
yeah, the diesel fumes. Yes, diesel fumes probably. Yeah.
I mean, I think you guys are missing the boat on that. I mean, I think it's like, being completely surrounded by steel is the thing, right? Like, it's an acoustic.
Missing the boat.
Yeah.
No pun intended or pun intended. Yeah. We used to call it, even though it's a ship, we used to call it the boat. That was a colloquialism on board.
No, I like that recording, Mike. I can hear everything that's, you know, pent up inside of you at the
Takes
time.
me back. Takes me back, man.
Yeah, yeah. I miss those recorders too, man. I mean, it was had its own special skill to make a good recording off of
Well,
those
I
things.
mean, the thing that's so cool about it is that that vocal is just so honest, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can say, well, the guitar part is whatever, or the bass part is whatever, or whatever. But that vocal, that's real. Like you're feeling that. Like
Yeah,
you
and it's a
believe.
signature of punk.
Yeah, you
It's
believe
definitely.
that thing that's coming
Yep.
from your mouth. I mean, you fucking believe that. That's cool.
Bewilderment. That's what I think it says. Bewilderment to life. Yeah. Anyway, a blast from the past. And we are almost an hour and a half into this.
Do you happen to remember the brand of conditioning oil that you used on your?
Dude, I didn't do anything to that, but you got a point because you're bouncing tracks, and this is you got to always get the same cassette. You don't have any other options. You have to use the same tape to record all that stuff over and over again. So, anyway,
I remember we used to always go to these restaurants, these different restaurants after show. The Star Seat Star Seat, Star something like that. I love that place, but Mike's catchphrase was always like, and we'd be gross and sweaty after a show or something. He'd go, when we get our meal, he'd grab the I forget the brand, but Chico or something like that. But you got to start your
Base of
start your
Cholula.
meal.
Yeah, I remember.
Base of Cholula.
Base of Cholula.
Just the base.
I knew you'd remember that brand name. I was hoping you'd remember
Base
the conditioning
of
oil.
Cholula. Yeah, we used to go on and on about. Yeah, we did that a lot. It was really funny because like the ending of Repo Man, like when Repo Man broke up, that was kind of, I don't know, kind of dark, like, in a way. But the important thing to understand is that, like, when we were hanging out together and playing gigs together, I mean, we were having fun. I mean, these guys, Mike and Adrian, I mean, these guys are funny. Like Rick, our drummer, back in the old days. I mean, Rick is funny, right? Like, we were laughing the whole time. It was a really fun time of just laughing and playing these ridiculous gigs where, like, why are we playing in this fucking bar, and and by accident,
Pre-rehearsal.
yeah, I mean, it just was like, it was not some weird Joy Division thing. I mean, we had fun hanging out together back in the old days. It was super cool, and that's why it was so fun to get together again, to work together remotely, because
living the dream, man. Seriously.
What's that?
We are seriously living the dream.
Well, I mean, I really think it's important to make that distinction. I mean, our music is not super serious, and you wouldn't think that we were, I don't know, like, down on each other, but we used to have a good time, and now we have a good time again. It's cool. it's cool playing together again. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, I agree. But before we fill up all of YouTube servers, we probably ought to bring the thing.
But we want to thank whoever the second and third person behind. We have 3 people. Well, I mean 833, but the 800 are blocked. 830
Well, no, I
are
mean
blocked. So, but there's 3 here.
It's 1,000,003. It's just that the million is not.
They're all incognito.
Yeah, the good news is we've got David Joshua who is here hanging out, and
we're interviewing him on the 27th.
Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, we should
premiering one of his songs.
We should probably, do like a real. Oh God, these damn. I'm sorry. I gotta these IEMs are kicking my ass. Yeah, we should probably talk about that. So coming up, we have a live stream with David Joshua. And that's going to be on
May 27th.
May 27th is when that's going to be. And if you're a David Joshua fan, like I am, you should tune in because it's going to be pretty fucking cool. We're going to hang out with David Joshua, and we are going to play some or all of his music, and it's going to be awesome.
We're premiering one of it. It's called Old Cadillac. I think he premiered it, but we're premiering it too.
Yeah. So
interesting fella. Just a little side note. This guy plays. He's got a very. I like the way Mike said it. Roy Orbison meets a few other people from that genre. I say he's got a Stevie Nicks vibrato. It's a really interesting music. I think you'll really like it. But yeah, it should be fun, David. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming, man. Supporting us. We're definitely going to support you. Brendon will be behind the helm. Mike's going to be asking questions. I'll be in the background for support with a banana mask on if the service provides it.
Yeah, so in that situation, I will be probably like, and maybe for the better, I won't be as vocal. But yeah, we're really looking forward to that. That's on the, what did you say? It's on the 27th?
Yeah, 27th.
That's
not your anniversary show, is it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So make sure and tune in on May 27th for our interview with David Joshua. It's going to be cool. We're going to play his new song. And Adrian, you're saying that's called what?
Old Cadillac.
Old Cadillac. And yeah, man. Can't wait for that. So we've been kind of going on and on, but the point is
he's got quite a few followers too, so we might need security at the door too, just to let you guys know up front. He's got
right on. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's whatever we got to do. We're going to do it. Regarding this live stream, we do have a new video out.
And I have an idea.
And it's called Driving Out of Town. It's a sequel to our song Driving Into Town. And hopefully you all will go listen to it. Mike, your background.
Yeah. Well,
something playing.
No, I mean, I think that's about it. We have a new video. It is Driving Out of Town. That is a sequel. What's that?
Stream often. Go listen to it 1,000 times and watch it.
One thing that you can do that. Sorry, Brendon. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Please. No, have at it.
I was going to. When I usually close out of these live streams and stuff, I mean, immediately you'll see all of Repo Man's music underneath it when it closes. It should pull all of his music up on YouTube. So that's a good opportunity to listen to everything that we've been busy at and trying to get out to the 1,000,003 right now. So it is 1,000,003, right? Yeah. But anyways, when the live stream closes, check out the rest of the music because there's some really, really good stuff, man. A lot of good efforts and a lot of good stories behind this.
I don't know why I can't find the banana.
I just want to say that hopefully you can use us as an example. If you've got a band,
nice.
Start putting your music out. And
that's a great idea.
And that's it. I'm a little bit distracted by the strawberry thing that Mike is bringing to the table, but whatever. That's fine.
I don't know. It's a strange mood right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
There's no banana available.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're kind of burning down my message is the problem. Like I was trying to deliver this really great message and you're kind of like burning it down.
Wow. I'm feeling kind of, fruity right now. So.
Okay. All right.
This is off the rails now, guys.
All right, folks.
All right. Say good night, Gracie.
Okay. So, I just want to say again, use us as an example. If you've got a band that's making recordings, put your music out like we're doing. It doesn't matter what it sounds like, just put it out. And does anybody else have anything to say?
Let's get out of here while we still can.
Okay. I'm ending the stream.
I enjoyed it. I had a great time. It was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. I'm ending the stream in 3, 2, 1. Splat. All right. And